Good morning here from Los Angeles, and we're both in Los Angeles, me and my guest. I'm going to have him introduce himself in just a minute, but I am Valerie. I am the senior editor of the Hollywood Times and also with Aspiring magazine back east. And I'm so excited to have him here today and talk about his film.
My name is Brandon Buczek. I'm the writer director in Casual, which will premiere at Dance with the Films June 24th, 7:15 p.m.
Yeah, so we're talking about something casual, and it dives deep into the chaos of modern dating. So, what inspired you, Brandon, to tell this particular story and why now? Because the film captures both the humor and heartbreak of love in the digital age. Was there a specific moment or personal experience that sparked the script?
Yeah, so there was one specific breakup that I went through that started this idea where it felt like a really intimate thing. And then it was only later that towards the end, that I was like, oh, we never put a label on it. So it could never really get to that next level. And then going through that breakup, I talked with some friends and I feel like they all had a similar story. They'd be like, oh, yeah, I had that happened to me where I met this guy and we were talking for months and he like would sleep over every day and then one day he just disappeared and there was no like conversation beyond that. And the more people I talk to, the more I realize that people seek intimacy, but they don't want the burden of commitment. It seems, and that's a common trope. And I don't know if that's specific to LA or if that's specific to this generation, but it was a common thing, and I felt like it should be written about.
Good job. Yeah, Frankie and Alex, the characters, hold completely opposing views on love. What do you hope audiences take away from watching this dynamic unfold?
I hope first that they probably will see themselves in one of the two characters where they'll be like, oh, like I'm more of an Alex, I'm more of a Frankie, and they can use them as a surrogate for themselves and then connect to the story that way. But in the real hope is that people that are in their like 20s in these kind of relationships can see that there is another person on the other side of whatever they're doing. I think when people are dating, they think of what they want out of relationships more than like what can be had for both of them out of a relationship. So I just hope people can like reflect and be like, oh yeah, there is another person I'm involved with.
Of that, yes, very important. Your casting, Nico Greetham, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, and Piper Curda have incredible chemistry. What made them right for these roles, and how did you work with them to shape Alex and Frankie?
I had watched some of Piper's work on like legacies, and then when I was looking for it was actually funny enough for both of them. I was looking for somebody with kind of a mixed background because they have to like based off of what environment they're in, they kind of code switch, and I wanted to find people that could have that background and then also be good actors or whatever. And so that was like a first step is like finding mixed people, and then how they came together. Piper, I'd asked like a long time ago because I was a fan of hers, and she was like attached for a few weeks, maybe a month or two, while we were trying to find an Alex. And then a week or two before filming, because we had a date where she was like available, so I was like, "We're gonna find somebody, don't worry." And then we met Nico through his manager, and he was just so charismatic and like lovely that I was like, so much of the film is a kind of a crux on I hate saying like being likable because I have some unlikable tendencies, but you have to like want to root for him a little bit. And I feel like he has the charisma where even if he's doing some selfish things at times, that he could like still have an audience be like, okay, like I see where you're coming from. And their chemistry together was just great. Like they had a meeting together and it was just like, okay, they're lovely. They get on super well. It'll be easy, at least the beginning part, to be like, okay, they like each other.
Yeah, very important. Got to like each
Hmm.
other to have a relationship first.
Yeah.
Um, so the film was shot entirely in LA. I can tell you must love LA by your cap. Yes. So how did the city shape the film visually and emotionally? And I know there's been all this controversy about filming in Los Angeles and the costs. Mostly I want to talk about your filming with this film. And like I said, how did the city shape it?
Like I said earlier about the dating dynamics in Los Angeles, I feel like it could be universal, at least to like big cities in America, but specifically to Los Angeles, I feel like there's a certain type of serial dater. And so I wanted it had to be shot in LA to tell that story. And then having family that's been on the east side of LA, I haven't really seen many like East LA movies. I see a lot of one set at the beach or one set in like Hollywood or whatever, and they're telling that story. But I wanted like a different part of LA to be shown. So like Echo Park, like always looked really pretty to me. And it's like nice that there's like a lake in LA that people wouldn't know exists maybe if they're not from LA. And just East LA is a little more, I don't know. I feel like there's a little more flavor than other parts of LA. And so I just wanted to be specific to this area and shoot all around and like the certain types of apartments you see that are like old Hollywoody style or like the building types that aren't, there's no specific architecture to LA. So like showing all the different buildings and all that, it just very specific to LA. And that's why, yeah, it had to be here.
Thank you for filming in LA, obviously, like I was saying before, because of all the cost and stuff. Did you find that
The
any,
costs.
yeah, any issues around the production in Los Angeles?
There was a finding parking was always a big, especially in Koreatown. We had a trailer that we had to bring for the actors, and trying to park a trailer in Koreatown is not the easiest task in the world. There's a lot of loops had to be found, and then it wasn't really close to set. But there's hiccups here, and there's costs associated with it. But there's also you don't have to get if you shoot outside the city, you have to get everybody on per diem basis and all that other stuff. So there's going to be costs no matter what.
Yeah, good point. Good point. So, on another note, what does it mean to you to premiere at Dances with Films at such an iconic venue like the TCL Chinese Theatre?
Yeah, it just hit me last night was our first event, and being in front of the Chinese theater, I was like, oh, like this is I knew it was cool already, but I was like, this is where like Wizard of Oz was and Star Wars premiered.
That was a really big deal for a lot of the filmmakers that I've spoken with. Being at the Chinese Theater, such a big deal, and being at the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel last night for the Q&As and the red carpet, pretty exciting, especially for filmmakers out of the country and out of the state. So very cool. You built a strong following around your own indie work. What's next for you? Any future projects that are brewing in the same emotional or romantic space?
The good thing now, the film was shot like almost 3 years ago now, and I've been married now for 2 years and in a relationship for seven. So I'm like, this is very cathartic making this movie, and my wife was actually a producer on it. But I told her, I was like, I think I'm good with any relationship stuff for a while. Because for a while, when you're in your 20s, that's your point of reference is a little limited. You can expand yourself beyond that, but the things that feel the strongest are like heartbreak or family deaths or something like that. So that was what was poignant to me at the time. But now I feel like I still want to tell relationship movies in a different way. Like I feel like everything's relationship movies in some way or another, but a little broader vision now, less autobiographical for sure. As there's a lot less drama in my life, which is good, but also a lot less to pull from writing wise. So I'm writing like two scripts now that are in a much different genre.
Okay, we'll be on the lookout for it because I want you to make sure that you keep in touch with us. We're the Hollywood Times today is our website, and aspiringmagazine.com, and our web YouTube channel is the Hollywood Times Official. So how can our viewers and our readers find out more about you and the film?
You can search probably our films, TikTok and Instagram. It's something casual film as the handle on both of those. You can find me. I have a YouTube channel called Office Problems. You can find that. And then I have my own personal Instagram, which is just interpretations, which is not my name since my name is Brandon, but it's based off of a quote from Memento, which is my favorite movie.
Yes, very good movie. Thank you again, Brandon, for joining us here today. And hopefully we'll meet in person rather than virtually. And
Yeah.
something casual at the Chinese Theater, Dances with Films on June 24th. Again, thank you for the film. Thank you for your creativity. And have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.